Welcome to another edition of Babyface Hills. I am Pops Griffin, and I got 2 out of my 4 guys with me. To my right, Menace Red.
You.
To my left, Ricky Bobby.
What's up?
And you know what we do here. To talk about professional wrestling, primarily the WWE. We've had some great returns, okay? Great returns. Obviously, it started out with CM Punk, who there's nothing else to be said once he returns. Merch goes up, chants goes up, everybody knows what it is, okay? And then we also had Randy Orton who returned. We love Orton, glad to see him back healthy. He looks jacked, okay? Yeah. And then let's not forget the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, who I'm so glad to see him return. But I'm not really sure what this means for anybody other than Punk, because I feel like Punk is the legit one who is going to actually get a real shot at a title, and he's probably going to actually get to wear it. But what are you guys thinking about this whole situation and the return of these legends?
Well, just to paint the picture, Randy Orton came back at War Games. In the match, Cody Rhodes brought him back because they got the legacy tie from back in the day. Then CM Punk pops up at the end of the show. Seth Rollins starts tweaking. So it's most likely going to be CM Punk and Seth. So it's most likely going to be CM Punk and Seth going at it for the foreseeable future. And then AJ Styles came back. Oh, that was a SmackDown, I believe.
Yes, he came back on the SmackDown.
That dude looks jacked. Whoever's like the doctor, the medical people at WWE, they letting these dudes slide with Barry Bonds medicine. It's ridiculous.
Looking crazy.
Yeah, AJ Styles looks crazy. But something to note, AJ Styles, I don't know if you guys remember, in TNA, he disappeared and came back and went dark. Pretty much like his lone wolf kind of thing. Then he went to Japan. People saying that was the best AJ Styles ever. A lot of people are speculating that's what he's on now. He's on like this whole lone wolf thing. He came back to aid LA Knight and Randy Orton, and then he just closed on LA Knight. And he's kind of just like on his own going after Roman. So I think it's dope.
Always good to see AJ. The lone wolf thing is cool. Because he's on SmackDown, because the guy is there, right? We know who the guy is, right? So I just don't, the interference, the attacks, that could be cool. I don't know, but if he's gonna be a lone wolf and almost kind of like, muscle for hire type thing, then there may be some cool way that they bridge him in some feuds and things of that nature. It's good to see him back, and he's good product. He's great product. And because he is, I'm figuring the great minds over there, they'll figure out something to make it work,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's definitely good to have AJ back. I just think the title scene, the main eventers, it's just all so clutter. So him being lone wolf, I don't know how he'll fit right now. But I do think that it'll be somewhat cool because right now, in my opinion, I feel like the Judgment Day isn't failing, and if he's going darker, to time in with that, and they give it a new push with him as a lead for Judgment Day, I think that'd be
You want to put him in the Judgment Day?
It would give him a place to fit. I feel like
you think
because
so?
right now there's no space. Especially with The Rock back, there's no space.
I think the good thing, Randy Orton, he's Randy Orton. So he could float different programs. He doesn't really need a title. It's not, if they put him in something interesting, people would care. AJ Styles is good for Logan Paul and Gunther to really see if they can have those matches. AJ Styles is modern day Shawn Michaels. So him and Gunther, it won't be just some hard hitting, a bunch of chops and stuff. He'll really push him to the limit, see if he can go.
True.
And I think people would like that. I don't think he has to be as long as he's doing something important, I think people who like AJ Styles will be satisfied.
Will he be Okay. Fans may be satisfied. Will he be satisfied? Because when you come back, and you come in the mix as if you want the belt, right? You want the champion. You want the top dog. And you have to settle for, the U.S. title, prestige title. We don't want to make it sound like that. But ultimately, that's what it is, right? The second best champion on that roster. Second best belt. Is AJ going to be okay with that if that's what it comes to?
I think he would. I can't like speak for him, but I think he would because all the champions in WWE are all like they're a step above the rest of the roster pretty much. Like Logan Paul, if he faces Logan Paul, that's outside interaction from media and everything. Is so much attention that goes in that. Mm-hmm. And people love Gunther. Like, Gunther is a champion. He doesn't even acknowledge the bloodline and what they got going on because his championship is most important to him. Mm-hmm. So I think AJ Styles beat him. He could keep that same prestige on it. They have something going for a few months with him and Gunther if they go that route.
Okay. Not bad at all. I'm good with that. Like I said, happy to see Orton back. Happy to see AJ. I think AJ's a workhorse. So I do think for a U.S. title and an IC title, competition, being competitive, you know, even if you don't win it, you pick it up. Like you mentioned, we're going to see these guys in 20-minute matches, 30-minute matches where they're going to show what they got. I know Gunther can go, and I believe Logan is a showman. So I think, you know, with those two belts are in safe hands, and as long as the competition is legit and we can buy into it, I think that's going to be just fine. I really do. I think those are just going to be, they're going to be okay.
Yeah.
For sure.
Now for the big return. Mm-hmm. Man, CM Punk is back. How do you guys feel about that?
Man, listen, okay? That dude, you just said it. They were celebrating a win, right? And all of a sudden he comes out and I almost choked on my coffee when you mentioned this because it was so true. He just tweaked, you know. My man Seth was tweaking. This is my thing though, right? Let's skip through all the red tape. We want to see CM Punk and Seth Rollins get it done. That's what we want to see. That's what it's all about. Seth has been a fighting champion. We think it may be a little bit of smoke and mirrors in that, but it's all good. Nevertheless, you can only fight who's in front of you, no matter how many times it is. So it's okay. But we need to see Punk and Seth go at it. I believe it's going to be one of the greatest matches. And, you know, I don't know if they'll give Punk the title or not, but just the fact that we can get that match, I'm for it. I'm here for it.
I think it's also a good story if they will present it right to WWE. Because when CM Punk was on top, he brought in the Shield. Seth Rollins was in the Shield. Even further back, they had some time, like when NXT first went black and gold and stuff, Seth was the first NXT champion. CM Punk was down there with them celebrating the win and all type of stuff. So I think it's a good story to tell, and now Seth Rollins apparently hates him. So yeah, it would be great.
For sure. I think like his timing when he came back was very good, especially how cluttered it just got with him coming. It gives a separate way for him and Seth to like do what they do, so he won't be like overshadowed by what else is happening on the other title scenes.
Yeah, I like it too because it's almost like, okay, finish doing whatever you gotta, take care of that little stuff over there, and you know I'm here now. So what's up? You know, whatever you got to get off your chest, whatever you got to say to me, come on. Listen. You know, I talk about The Rock being a great promo cutter, and CM Punk is right there, bro. Like, he comes in and, hey, tapping on his wrist, you know what time it is, and he gets on that microphone and he lets you have it. So, you know, and just hopefully he can stay healthy and he can make this run. I'm glad that they brought him back, though. Kudos to the big guy who's doing this thing, Paul, Triple H, who I call him, the guy, the game. He is doing his thing by just saying, hey, this is what our people want. This is what our universe wants. That's what they're going to get. Love that.
Yeah, because we always, like, speculated, like, every Royal Rumble, like, a CM Punk return, but I didn't think it was actually going to happen. I feel we got, like, too far out of the window, but I feel like he just came back at the perfect time.
Yeah, after everything crumbled at AEW, he definitely made the right decision to come back. For one, I think it'll be his last run probably. I don't know how long it'll be, but I don't think it'll be that long. It's still good to see him back, though.
Yeah, it's great to see him back, and we know that, you know, Seth being the fighting champion, he wants him. Where does Cody fit, though? The American Nightmare, you know, we've been kind of dancing around this subject, and I think, where does he fit? He's on Raw, right? And Seth holds the belt. He doesn't necessarily want that belt. He wants the big dog. But the big dog may have a real big problem now with his big cousin being around. So what's up with Cody, man? Is he going to get some gold, you know, or is this going to be a longer booked than we expected it to be?
I think it does no use giving Cody the Seth championship because when Cody first came back, he beat Seth 3 pay-per-views in a row.
Yeah.
He beat him with the torn pec. His body was all bruised up, still beat him. Mm-hmm. And then he beat him in 2 other matches. And then, remember, that whole tournament for the new title came around, but Cody was injured. That should have been Cody's right then.
Yeah.
But I don't think it does him any use beating Seth. I think he has to go for the big one.
Now, you always talk about this, right? That if you don't hold up your body-wise, they hesitate on putting the gold on you.
Right.
Is this something that's going on with Cody? Quietly, though, right? It's not like, it's out there, but we know you just talked about those injuries and then the tournament and that how important that was. I think at the time, those were the 2 favorites we had going in that tournament was Cody or Seth and the injuries and stuff like that. So could this be, like to say, hey, it'll come at some point, but you got to show us that you can stand up for a period. Because if we put this gold on you, bro, we can't have you fall off in a month or 2.
That could be it. I think it's just more so they want to do the historic run with Roman. They're just trying to beat out Hogan by a good margin. And then they're holding out for The Rock. He's finally back. So I don't think it's because Cody's been back for a year straight now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think he's fine, and he's number 1 babyface. So I don't think it's an injury thing. I just think Roman is more important than everybody.
I don't see him getting to Roman anytime soon with The Rock back now. But I feel like if they keep him in, kind of like an AJ Styles thing, if they keep him in like relevant topic things, pop him in different things, even if he has like a good run in the Royal Rumble, that it will just keep attention on him anyway.
But could he do something similar to what years ago they did with Warrior? You would have to go back into the vote to see this, Ricky. You're a little young, but anyhow, what they did with Warrior years ago was they put the Intercontinental title on him, and then he ended up fighting Hogan, and he had both belts. Could that be something that could ultimately end up happening with Cody, where that kind of trumped? At the time, Hogan was the biggest babyface. He was the guy, and they were using him to get guys over and whatever. And they did that for the Warrior, and the fan base, I remember we were chewing it up like, whoa, you had never seen a guy with both of those belts, and you had never seen, first of all, Hogan really do that for anybody. So I just wonder if in the long run, Gunther is reigning and defending. He's breaking records as an IC champion. He's in Raw. Could that be something we talked about, The Rock maybe defeating Roman at WrestleMania and then Cody defeating him? Could that be something where Cody is not only wearing the IC, but now he's going to wear both belts? Eventually he'll lose them. Roman will regain it. But I know we're going ahead of schedule here, but I mean, this has to be going somewhere where he has to ultimately
tie back in.
Well, he has to have some type of gold. Sometimes, only certain guys can be in the business and be champion, but not really be champion. You understand what I'm saying? There's The Rock, there's Stone Cold, Hogan, Undertaker. There are guys who, although they didn't have the gold around them, they were still champions to the fan base, to the universe. We love Cody, but I don't know if he's the ultimate babyface, absolutely, but he's got to get some gold on him at some point. He can't just be guys. But he can't necessarily be the workhorse without any gold. Like there's AJ Styles. We talk about the Shawn Michaels effect, right? Well, that was Shawn, champion without having a belt on, but every time he stepped in the ring, that's the guy. That's the HBK. He's the guy. I think we feel like that about AJ. AJ's back, whether he goes dark, whether he stays positive. It's great. But with the American Nightmare, he came back for one reason and one reason only, to win, to show you that he's the best. Yeah, he's defeating competitors, but without any gold. I mean, it's just kind of, where's it going?
I just don't know who you'd have him beat. Like, he could beat Seth, which would be okay, but I feel like if he beats Gunther, where does Gunther go? And then, like, that's not good enough because it's like they booked themselves into a hole because he said he's got to finish the story. It's got to be a WrestleMania main event championship title win. It's got to be that. If it's not that, then it's like, it's not a fail. It's just not as good.
What about SummerSlam? I mean, if he goes into, let's say...
It's not WrestleMania.
But SummerSlam with both belts.
I mean,
with one belt fighting for it, and then at the end of the night, he's holding up both of the belts. I mean, that could be pretty impressive.